Hey guys, King Kaiju here, and today I wanted to do a review of another internet property similar to the Isle of the Mesozoic, which I reviewed a little while ago. This review will be on something slightly bigger though. This is actually a YouTube movie, and I don't mean it's made by YouTube, but instead it's made by a YouTuber. I'm pretty sure all of you know who MIB is, or Monster Island Buddies. He made a movie recently, and I wanted to review it. So, what is this movie called?
Fresh, delicious bowl of cereal. Hi! What the? Who pooped in my cereal?
Yeah, this movie is kinda all over the place with its tones. This isn't to say it's bad, though. I'll start this review off with what I like about this film and what I think it does get right. One thing I like is this movie is not just one fan, it's a whole slew of fans making a movie. Almost every Godzilla YouTuber is in this. Just look at the special guest list. There's a ton of Godzilla YouTubers in here that are pretty easy to recognize. Like Godzilla YouTubers who don't specifically do Godzilla content, or YouTubers who make specifically Godzilla content, or ones that have really weird mustaches. Seriously, what is that? But all jokes aside, I'm glad that this film is not just one guy doing it. I'm glad that there were a lot of people involved with it. Something else about this film that's pretty enjoyable is there is a lot, and I mean a lot, of new and pretty interesting and fun characters. These plushy guys right here were some of my personal favorites. There's also this character known as Massacre, who is basically a mutated Godzilla, and he massacres everyone, hence the name. He's another one of my favorites because his character is basically just a massive brute in the show, and also his design is pretty cool. Overall, most of the new characters are pretty well done, and I like the majority of them. There is one character, though, that I'm pretty mixed on. That character is this girl Godzilla character. We first encounter her as one of the monsters we see as Godzilla travels through dimensions. And at first, she's an okay character, nothing incredibly special about her, she's just kinda there. But then she becomes a character later in the final act, and really I don't see a purpose for it. She's just kinda there, she doesn't really do anything. If there's by any chance a case of me misremembering, that's because this character is just incredibly forgetful. I don't even remember her name. And that's basically how I would describe her character, incredibly forgetful. Back onto positives though, there is quite a few Easter eggs in this show. For example, this scene is clearly a reference to the Top 5 MIB show.
Welcome to MIB's Top 5!
There's quite a few in here, but this one is definitely the most obvious. The plot is pretty simple. A portal opens up in Godzilla's house where Godzillas from multiple different universes can come through. One, however, comes through that is different. That being Massacre. And like I said earlier, he basically just massacres everybody. However, there's also a side plot to this movie, which is where I start to fall into the negatives about this film. The side plot focuses on Rodan because after a video that he uploaded goes viral, he starts to turn into a fake internet personality. His subplot is basically about realizing that social media equal bad. In my opinion, the subplot was pretty unnecessary. It didn't really do anything for the film, it was just there. In my opinion, it could have been cut out and it wouldn't have really done much. Like I also said toward the start, this film has another thing where it kind of doesn't know what tone it's going for. One scene that shows this off best is the end scene. The end scene has a lot of serious elements in it where they talk about some actually pretty deep stuff. For example, Megalon talks about having depression.
Hey Megalon, how's your depression going?
Well, the doctor and I have been trying different meds. I think the current one is working, but there are still times when I feel, well, you know.
Batra comes out as gay.
Patra would like to use this moment to emerge from the closet.
But you're always bragging about being with many beautiful women.
That was lies. The truth is, queer Patra.
but just randomly sprinkled in there, there's a couple of scenes that are played up for jokes, and this might just be me personally, but I wish they would have kept it serious instead of throwing in the jokes. Definitely the biggest example of this, though, is the final shot of the film.
Oh my god. So what do I do now? What do you think? Roar, you fool! Gay! Huh? What? I'm gonna try that again.
That's how it ends. That's how the entire film ends. Let me do a couple tweaks to this scene and show you how it should have ended, or at least in my opinion, how it should have ended.
Oh my god. So what do I do now? What do you think? Roar, you fool!
With a little music fade, that would have been a much better scene, and a much better finisher to this film. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate this film's comedy by any means. There are some scenes which I think they execute amazingly, such as Mechagodzilla's voice.
Damn it, stop talking!
It relies on loud equals funny, but the moments it is executed, I think it's done well. I think it fits, for the most part at least. But despite the negatives I just talked about, this film is good, and I do recommend it to anyone who likes Monster Island Buddies, or Godzilla for that matter. If I had to give it a score out of 10, it would probably be a 7 or 8. But with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this review, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.